All right, this is a quick video on the epro. This is the power button up here. If you push the power button, it'll pop up and start loading. I'm going to do a couple of different videos. This one's going to be how to just check all your settings and do a calibration. As you all know, you've got to unplug the speed sensor when you're going to do a calibration, and then you got to go into self-test. This is done a little bit differently, but it's very similar to the 4600 in concept. Okay, so the screen right now says if touchscreen calibration is required, touch here to begin recalibration. So if you touch the screen, it's going to show you little plus signs in the corner. You want to touch each one of those, okay, and that is so that the computer will know where your finger is on the screen. Okay, so once you've done that, you hit confirm, and then it starts loading. It says processing your selection. All right, once this pops up here in a minute, there's basically three main buttons on the home screen. It's going to be a green button that is for go, which is what you would use when you want to start a job. And then it's got a blue one with wrenches that is for tools, and that's how you go in and make all your setting changes and so on. And then there'll be a red square, and that's for stop, and that's how you end the job at the end of the day, or it's how you would shut the unit off when you're all done. And that screen will pop up here in a second as soon as this thing gets done running through its loading. Okay, so there they are. It says retrieving registration data. So we've got the green go, the blue for tools, and the red square for stop. This is your home screen that you'll come back to most often. All right, so I want to check all my settings, make sure everything's set up right, and I want to go into a self-test mode. So I'm going to hit the blue button to bring up all my tools. Okay, now on this screen there's an awful lot of buttons. We don't really need to use most of them. We're basically only going to use three of these buttons. We're going to use this one here that's called product control. All right, and then we're going to use these two buttons that says profiles and sections. Okay, so first, if I hit product control, it's going to tell me that my application type is liquid, and it gives me a speed cal, a valve cal, and then there's a calibration settings area. Okay, so if I wanted to change my speed cal, I would just click on the speed cal button, and it would come up here and tell me, radar or wheel sensor. We're always going to be radar or GPS. Speed cal is 800. If I wanted to change the speed cal, I just push that button, and it would give me a screen where I could type something new in. All right, I'm happy with 800, so I hit check. And then it says test speed. This is where you would go into the self-test like we did with the 4600s. But here what you're going to do is just click on test speed, and you would type in 10 miles an hour. Okay. And then hit the check, the green check button. All right, now it says test speed 10 miles an hour. So this is now set into a self-test. As long as the speed sensor's unhooked, it's set in self-test at 10 miles an hour. I hit the green button to accept that. It comes back. I can check my calibration settings if I'd like. And my calibration settings are what rate do I want to spray at and what my meter cal is. So if I wanted to change my rate, I could change it right here. Or my meter cal, I could change that as well. Okay? We're not going to worry about valve delay or pump cal or any of that stuff. We don't use any of that. All right? I come over to the green button and then hit the green button again. It takes me back to the main screen. So that's pretty much my product control. That allows us to change all of our settings related to flow, the rate, the meter cals, speed cals, all that kind of stuff. The other thing we have down here is profiles and sections. With the 4600, you'd have to manually change each boom width when you changed from whether you were doing guide rail spraying to North Star spraying. You'd have to re-enter all those booms. That's a little different with this. This one allows you to save profiles that will automatically load those when you change the profile. So if I hit profiles, it's going to come up and give me a list of all the different profiles that are saved in this. Okay, so if I want to do guide rail spraying, I have 2017 District 11 guide rail is what's highlighted right now. And down here I have save profile or load profile. Okay, if I hit load profile, all right, it loads that profile up. And then when I hit check, when I come over here to sections, okay, it's going to tell me what the sections are preset at. You can see section 1 is 30, 2 is 24, 3 is 24, and then there's 0, and then 8, 9, 10 is 24, 24, 30, just like you would set up in the 4600. Okay. If I come back here to profiles again, and now I go to North Star right. Okay. I highlight North Star right, load profile, hit check. I come to sections. I look at my sections, and you'll see that now all the sections are set for using the North Star. You can see that it's already all done. So no longer do you have to load each individual boom width. You just have to go to your profiles and select what it is that you're running. And then there's also up here at the top, you can touch to create a new profile. If you want to change the way things are put together or something, you could do that. So load profile, check. All right, so I've got my profile in there. I can check my sections again. I'm set up for guide rail spraying. I've already gone through my control, so I know my meter cal is all correct and all that kind of stuff. Whoops, wrong button. Product control there. Yep. I can come back to my speed again and just look at it. I'm set still at test speed of 10 miles an hour. Okay, so I hit OK there. If I want to look at my calibration settings again, all right, I've got calibration settings up, and these are going to be attached to the profile, and it looks like that one has the wrong rate in it for guide rail spraying. So I'm going to change that to 50 and hit check, and now you'll see the rate cal says 50. So I'm going to do 50 gallons per acre. All right, I come back. I've checked all of my settings. I'm ready to start a calibration test. So if I hit the home button that was down there in the corner, it brings me back to this screen. And to start a job, I hit start. Now, with this particular unit, I'm sitting inside. I don't have a GPS signal. Or if you didn't have a GPS antenna hooked to the epro, which a couple of our units don't have them right now, it's going to come up with this screen that says no GPS present. Continue to apply a product without recording data. Okay, and you can either say yes or no by hitting the red or the green checkbox. If you hit the red, it's going to just cancel it out, take you back to the previous screen. Okay, you see that? If you hit the green, it's going to take you right into your spraying window. Okay, right here, you're going to go to automatic. This is where the old 4600 had the auto manual button. That's right here now. You're just going to push automatic, and you'll see up here in the corner, it says 50 gallons per acre. And then to the right of it, it says 0. That's because that's what it's sending out right now is 0. 50 is what we're programmed for. Currently, there's none. Once you start spraying, you'll see that number. You'll see this number over on the right come up, and ideally, it should also read 50 for everything to be programmed correctly. Okay? Down here at the bottom of the screen, you can see 1 through 10, and this is our switch box. Okay? So with all the switches off, I turn my main switch power on, and what you'll see happen is as I turn switch 1 on, you'll see that changed. You see how that 1 lit up? Now that 1's green, and we have an alarm going off because it says I'm off rate. It's trying to flow 50 gallons an acre, and I'm flowing 0. So the alarm is saying you got a problem. Why do I have a problem? Because I don't have the pump running and I'm not flowing any material right now. Okay? But back to this, so the switches, when I hit boom 2, it'll light up, boom 3 will light up, and so on. Okay, so that kind of takes you through the speed cal or the test calibration. You can start your pump up, get it all set right, turn boom 1 on, catch the water, and as long as you're showing 50 gallons an acre, matching to the 50 that it's programmed for, you'll know that the computer's working right. You can see there it says 10.3 miles per hour right now. That's because that's what we had set up in it. So once we're done with this, you'll go back to the green button, hit stop, end job. It says, are you sure you want to end this job? Yes, you do. Okay, that job is now over. Now we can go back into our tools and go to product control. I keep hitting that interface button, and that's not the one you want. It's that one, product control. Okay, calibration settings. All right. Oh, no, that isn't it. Back up. Speed cal. All All right, it says test speed 10 miles an hour. All right, I'm going to just change that to 0. And I believe that it would automatically go to 0 anyway as soon as it picks up a radar signal. So you don't actually have to change it back to 0 when you're done. Okay, so if you wanted to start a job, you would hit the home button and just go to start job, and it's going to do the same thing we just did. And now when you're driving, now it says 0 miles per hour, and it will read it off from your vehicle speed, but you do have to set this to automatic. If it's off, then you're not going to get any rate change. So, all right, there's your quick crash course on using the epro.